hello. Hopefully everything is working right. Welcome everyone. My name is Cindy. I'm at Simply Cindi. I have been doing these lives. I think it's been about 8 days. I thought it was like seven, but I've challenged myself to do 30 lives, not 30 consecutive days because I'm only doing Monday through Friday. But we're having fun. I'm enjoying. I'm doing astrology and tarot. We have this lunar eclipse coming up on the 25th, so I made up a spread to do tarot for each sign. We have the last three signs today. So we're going to go over a little bit of astrology today. Um, it probably won't be a long live. I have three um, signs to do yet. I have Leo, I have Pisces. Who's the other sign? Leo, Pisces, and Libra. Sorry, Leo, Pisces, and Libra. And this has to do with the lunar eclipse and how we're walking away from something, how it's going to be eclipsed, how we have old habits that we no longer need to have around, but they're behaviors that we're used to. They're situations that we're used to that used to make us comfortable, but now probably make us uncomfortable. But we're such habitual creatures that we will keep something even way past its due date. It's just kind of how we are. So, I think I said my name already. I am a medium. Um, I was trying to get through these tarot readings for the week. I really appreciate you guys liking and sharing and subscribing. There is a lot. I looked at my analytics. Yeah, a lot of y'all are sharing. I really appreciate that. A lot of you guys are commenting. It's nice to have everybody back. Not everybody's back, but it's nice to have, like, I can feel familiar energies. It's nice to have you guys back. So I'm glad that some of you guys are getting notifications. I've tweeted YouTube to see if they can help me with some stuff because yeah, my channel it had been inactive pretty much for the last since the pandemic, well, right after the pandemic. But anyway, I've come back full time to YouTube. And we'll see how that goes. We'll get my channel all straightened out. We'll get everybody together and hopefully we can live better, live longer. Does that make sense? So let's talk a little bit about today. And then, this sort of coming up weekend too. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever I'm inspired. Okay. Today remember we had Aries. We had the sun go into Aries. It should have given you guys a lot of, not a lot, but some energy into doing what you have been wanting to do. I know that a lot of you with the sun being right next to Neptune have felt a little off, confused. Some of you may have been dreaming a lot, especially Aries. And if you have a lot of Piscean energy and Saturn energy and Venus energy, you probably were getting dreams over the last like week. Probably like really prominent dreams. I forgot to mention that in the other lives, but yeah, you probably are getting like messages or what some of y'all like to call downloads, right? So today I want to talk about, as you guys know, or for those of you that don't know, Pluto is heavy in my chart. Pluto is heavy in my chart. Um, Uranus rules my chart. So anyway, Pluto's heavy in my chart, so I'm doing a Pluto series to go over how Pluto behaves generationally and personally in each house. And you'll have to look at your chart to see where the house is. I've done about 5 of the houses, and I've got 6 or 7 more to do, right? So, but then I started doing this live. So I'm working on them. We have a 20-year transit through Aquarius that Pluto is going to teach us. Aquarius is going to teach us. They're going to teach us how to have our anonymity and work in groups as well. It's going to teach us how to come together in a humanitarian way, and still keep our anonymity, still keep our identity, right? So keeping your identity and working with the group. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about Pluto is because, like I said, he's heavy in my chart, but today he is talking to Neptune. Okay, so, and because Neptune and the sun, Neptune is so close over here with Aries, right? And he's also with the sun too. So he's talking to Neptune and he's talking to the sun. And the sun being in Aries right now wants you to do you. All this whole thing about what I've been talking about for the last month and a half is about doing you. This is Aries. So I know that there have been times where I have said, and this is true for today too, there are things that you want to do, but you feel like you maybe not be able to do them. That's the Chiron wound going to your north node. It's like, I want to do this thing. I want to be this thing. I want to try this thing. But because of your responsibilities or because of the people around you or because of your career or because of whatever, you may feel like you can't. You're going to upset people or it's not going to go well or it's going to like destabilize things for you, right? That's the North Node with this Chiron working in Aries. Aries is about me. Aries is about you. It's about, I want to do me. I need to do me. I need to do what I want, right? And with the sun being here, you have the energy where it's highlighting this, but you have this Chiron rune and this Pluto trauma. So Pluto has the trauma, Chiron has the wound. And I've made another video to explain the two, okay? But Pluto, remember, he was talking to the sun before. Remember when they both came in together? So there was something very important about the sun moving into Pluto. I mean, the sun moving with Pluto into Aquarius, right? And so I told you over this next year, 20 years really, but really we're just going to go we're going to go time by time by time. That's kind of how I'm introducing astrology to everybody. For those of you guys that are interested in astrology but don't really understand the wording, the language, what's going on. So this is my way of doing it. As things happen, and for me the planets are characters because I'm a medium, so they talk in that way. It's not the same language that we have, but it's like they're characters, they have personalities, and so that's the way I'm sort of bringing them to you guys, the way that they show up for me. So anyway, Pluto is talking to the sun, and he was already having the conversation with the sun when they both moved, which is something that hadn't happened in a very long time. This is all new energy. They both moved into Aquarius, and so throughout this whole 20 years, but for right now, he's going to continue to talk to each of the signs that he'd spoken to before as they passed him. They came by here and they had a conversation with Pluto, right? So now Pluto is again having a conversation with the sun. So he's highlighting there's some trauma there that you need to work through, and especially with this wound about you doing you. Let me just say this. If you haven't done you and you've only done what other people wanted you to do, you're going to be moving into a time where that stuff's going to be eclipsed and it's going to force you to do you. If you have been doing just you and honoring yourself, then you're going to be more clear about which way you want to go with this. Does this make sense? But if you have been like overly doing you and not considering other people, because it's in Aquarius, it's humanitarian, and so you're going to be eclipsed where you have to do you it with respect to others around you, right? But for right now, you may be feeling today like, I think I'm getting clearer about which way I want to go with situations, with relationships, with this things that we have been talking about over the month and a half, because it hits people in different areas of their life, right? But today you may feel like I kind of see it clearly. I don't know exactly how I want to do this, but I kind of see it better. But I'm feeling drawn to doing, to honoring me, to respecting me, right? And with Pluto there, he's saying, if you don't do it, I have to do it. Because that's Pluto. Pluto will bring up your fear, he'll bring up your trauma, he'll bring up your obsessions, he will transform you. Okay. So you may feel today like I kind of want to go in that direction, but I don't know that I can do it because I'm going to upset some people, right? This is all working on that. We're letting this part go. We're working, but today he's highlighting here where he's really showing you, do you need to do you, but there is a wound here. Remember, Mercury's here helping you process this. Does that make sense to you guys? So just pay attention. I'd said already to pay attention as Mercury is over here because he's in shadow, and then he's going to retrograde, and he's going to come back over this energy, over these points. Because, so there is something that you need to like process. There is something that you need to communicate. And communication isn't just language. It's the things that you do. It's the way that you come out to the world, come talk to the world, talk to life, right? So there is something you have to pay attention right now, especially with Pluto's trying to tell you this is really important for your destiny, right? Because this is where we're all headed, to the destiny, to the North Node, on a societal level and on a societal level and on a global level and on a personal level. Okay. So remember, are you honoring yourself? Are you going to do what you came here to do, which is to honor yourself, which is to be the thing that you want to be, which is to do the things that you want to do? Um, or to get you to that place, this is Pluto, or to get you to that place, I'm going to have to take some things. I'm going to have to move some things for you. Remember, I said that yesterday. Pluto's looking and he's like, either you do it or I have to do it. Because we're moving, we have to eclipse. We're moving into this new timeline, this new dimension, this new energy. I'd said this before. Nobody on this earth, unless you are 4, 5, 600 years old, nobody has been in this energy, not in this lifetime. So unless you're that old, you haven't been in this energy. This is brand new energy. So in this lifetime, you've never been. This is all new energy. We're going into all new directions. That's why things feel so off. It doesn't feel like we're landing anywhere, like have solid foundations, because we are moving into a different. Some of you guys would call it timeline. Some of you guys would call it frequency. Some of you guys would call it dimension, portals, whatever. We're moving into that space. Okay. But there are some things that we have to let go of. And that's where the lunar eclipse is coming up on the 25th. And we'll be dealing with these because you're not going to let go of everything right away. You're going to be dealing with these for the next couple of years. But in this one, this is what the tarot reading was for. And I did all the signs except for the 3 signs. So for those 3 signs, I'll do now. This is a tarot spread that I made myself. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Catherine, thanks for letting me know. Perfect. Okay. So what I was saying before is I'm going to start with Leo. I've got the 3 to do. I've got Leo, Libra, and Pisces. So I'm going to start with Leo. This is a tarot reading. I mean, this is a tarot card spread that I did myself. I usually go into meditation and then come out with a spread if I want, but that's kind of how I do it. So I apologize. I'm going to have to look this way because I write it down and then I forget it. I'm a medium, so I can't keep everything in my head. If I kept every conversation in my head, I wouldn't be able to leave the house. Okay, so, and then the last one, and then this will be all 12 signs that we've done, but the last one is Libra, and this is going to be happening in your house, your first house if you're a Libra ascending, Libra sun, Libra moon. So, Libra, we've talked about this before I even pulled the cards. We've talked about this before. Everybody thinks that Libra is good at, and this is not to take anything away from you, Libra. I'm just trying to make people aware. Um, People think that Libras can do relationships really well because they're Libra. Libras come to learn how to do relationships better. They're not that good. They're not bad, but they're not the experts in relationships like everybody thinks they are. So you have work to do in your relationships. You may see it as balanced, where other people may see manipulation. You may see it as diplomacy, where other people see it as lies. Right? So you have to learn how to do that better. Does that make sense, Libra? So it looks like, before I even turn these cards over, relationships have always been a big thing in your life, but they're going to be really highlighted right now. And I feel because it's the South Node for you, it feels, so you're going to have some things that come around that feel familiar of the way that you're used to doing things, but you're trying to move into an identity of you doing more of you instead of not doing you, letting other people have things, and then later on being upset because you didn't get those things, right? So I feel like that's going to be a big eye opener for you guys. Yeah, that's going to be a big eye opener for you guys. That's just what I'm getting as I'm channeling. This is before I even turn over the cards. There's something about your identity that you're trying to rework. There's something about your identity that you're trying, I won't say rework. There's something about your identity that you're trying to honor. That's what I'll say. Okay. Here we go, Libra. Let me just cut these real quick. One more time. These seem a little bit more serious today. Okay. All right, Libra. In relationships and partnerships, where do you stand? Where do you stand right now as you're moving into the lunar eclipse? You have the Queen of Wands. So it looks like things are going your way. It looks like you think things are going your way. It looks like you, I will say that some of you, I don't know why I feel like this. Like you have the upper hand in relationships and or partnerships, but I want to say like in business, you have the upper hand. I want to say in collaborations, you have the upper hand. I want to say in uh, relationship partnerships, you have an upper hand. I feel like you've sort of been moving things along. You've been doing the extra work. You feel really good about this. I do feel like you're better at seeing where these relationships should go or how these relationships should go. And that's where you're standing as you're moving into this new lunar eclipse. Okay. So what's ready to come out of the shadows? What's ready to be seen by you and be reflected back to you during this lunar eclipse? That is the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you think relationships or partnerships or collaborations, whatever this is for you, I feel like you think it's further than it is. I feel like you have more work to do with this. Where you're feeling like I've done I've done the work. Like, I kind of feel like you even know that you haven't. It's almost like you tried to lie to yourself about how much work you've done in this, if that makes any sense. Because it's at a 3, and you're looking at it as the queen. So it looks like you will get a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of kudos, or I guess I can say it in this way. You'll get what you want in the smaller things, with collaborations or in your personal relationships. Like, things will go your way a little bit, where you can celebrate a little bit. But the shadow is that you're going to see that you're not as far along as you thought you were. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're going to see it. It's going to be shown to you that you're not as much the leader as you think you are. Yeah, I do feel like some of you think that you have a handle on the situation where the other person knows that they have the handle on the situation, if that makes sense. And then number 3 will be what will be eclipsed over the next 4 to 6 months. So what's going to be eclipsed over the next 4 to 6 months? So I feel like you have new starts. You have the Ace of Wands. I feel like you have new opportunities and new starts. So I don't feel like y'all have been stagnant, but I do feel like maybe you have been trying everything and it's not working. And what I feel like is going to be eclipsed is that you're going to be more focused and aware of which opportunities you want to take. Where some of you have been like, I'll just take every opportunity and see which one lands, right? So the eclipse in relationships is like being more focused in where you want to put your energy. How much time do you want to spend with this person? How much time do you want to spend on this job? How much time do you want to spend on this project? And you'll see new beginnings in that. And you'll see that it's going to go further and you're going to have a lot of energy and it's going to be exciting to you. That makes sense. And then number 4 is what opportunities and or growth are going to come about because of this lunar eclipse. You have the 2 of Pentacles. So I do feel like you're going to do the balancing act. I feel like you could get confused but the opportunities and the growth for your lunar eclipse is that you find the balance, that you don't find it, you're working it. You're actually working it. You're working it. Like, I'm not putting too much in. I'm not having to overcompensate, and people are actually responding and giving me their time and giving me their love and giving me their resources as I give them. It's like a balancing act that you're doing. It's the way that you kind of always want to do it. But you get into these messes where you're trying to manipulate the situation sometimes. Not all of you, but some of you, right? So I feel like with the growth that you're going to understand better that you can trust another person to do the right thing, that you can trust your partner, whether it's personal or business, to put in the work, do the thing, show up when they say they're going to show up. And you don't have to like offer them something to be able to do that. Does that make sense? Like, kind of, that's what I mean by manipulating the situation. Oh, I'll give you this if you do that. You know what I mean? So I feel like over the next 4 to 6 months, you're going to be sort of coming to terms with how you're going to do that. You're going to see that people are going to be more balanced with you and you're going to be working it. Does that make sense? So congratulations, Libra. Again, I feel like you're trying to like understand an aspect of your identity and see yourself in a very different way and moving in a very different way. Like, not trying to like overdo it to get what you want, overcompensate, right? Just maybe working less and trusting more. That makes sense. So I appreciate everybody that's been here. That is all 12 signs. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I am going to cut this down later, and I'll be back tomorrow for this live. I want to say thank you to everybody that's shown up, um, for all of those that have stuck with me. We have about 10 more, no, I'm sorry, 20 more days of these lives, because I thought it was like, I have to go back and count how many days I've been on, but I'm a Libra, so this makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you so much, Cindy. Oh, good, Catherine. I'm glad that makes sense. Um, yeah, well, sometimes when I'm channeling, I'm just like, are you sure they want to hear that part? That's what I'll ask my higher self. Are you sure they want to hear that part? Because I don't like being mean. I don't like sounding mean. So, but that's my own thing. Anyway, so I appreciate you guys. I will be back tomorrow. It's gonna be a little bit earlier. So it'll probably be about 9 or 10 in the morning. And we'll see what I'm inspired to do. It could just be a free for all, which is what I tried to do last Friday, but it didn't work out because YouTube live sucked. Anyway, we'll see how that works. 'Cause, yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm having a lot of fun. For those of you, I'm going to mention it today because I didn't mention it. Somebody asked me the question yesterday. If you want a reading with me, you are welcome to email me at yourpath39@gmail. I took my website down. It was too overwhelming for me. I don't want to do it that way right now. So it's me working out my whole thing. Okay. So, but I am going to do readings. So if you want a reading with me, if you want to look over your birth chart, if you want mediumship or tarot, hypnosis, I can't do unfortunately yet until I get my space, my house, which I'm working on this year. That's one of my goals, is to get a house, right? So then I can do hypnosis again. And I don't like to do hypnosis via like Zoom or internet. I like for you to be, I like us to meet in person, because I think you deserve that, because it's an all day thing. I think that you deserve to give yourself that. So you need to meet me in person. So unfortunately, hypnosis I won't be doing right now. Hopefully at the end of the year I will be, but right now, no. But I will do birth charts, transiting charts, mediumship especially, and I'm starting to channel again, sorry, mediumship and tarot reading and astrology. So I highly recommend it. I had a coffee chat a few years back. Amazing. I'll definitely be sending you an email. That's right, Catherine. I'm kind of glad too, because I wanted to talk to you about that coffee chat. That's funny because I just pulled that up the other day. That's interesting. Yeah. So if anybody's interested, you can email me at yourpath39@gmail. A lot of you know that email. I've had that email forever. So that's like my signature email. Anyway, I love you, love you, love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Bye.